All right, so you've heard numerous ways of getting involved with your local school district. Who here is going to hire an intern? Let's see the hands. I appreciate that. Okay, here we go. Yes, Stephanie, I see you. Thank you so much. We'll have close to 3,000 students looking to be placed. There's no reason in a thriving tech ecosystem that they go without finding a placement. So up next, we're going to move right into and talk about SAP's first ever Web3 Startup Accelerator Program, SAP.io, which included HR startups that are disrupting the way Fortune 500s think about crypto payroll, blockchain verified credentials, and the metaverse for learning, onboarding, and training. So please join me in welcoming today's moderator, Sallie Jian, head of SAP.io, New York.
Oh, can you guys hear me? Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our session today. My name is Sallie Jian, and I'm with SAP, SAP.io. So let me give you a little intro about what's about to come to stage. We have 4 amazing startups from the SAP.io Startup Accelerator Program. And so we're part of the SAP larger organization. You may have heard of us. SAP is one of the world's largest enterprise software companies. And we have this amazing startup program called SAP.io. And we work with startups that we think are really promising, can build long-term partnership with SAP, and we bring them into our accelerator, which is called the Foundries. And we have 11 locations throughout the world. I myself have been running the New York SAP.io program. We also have Latin America, so we have Edwin Gonzalez, head of Latin America here, so if you want to talk to him. We also have San Francisco for North America. We have a bunch of locations in Europe and in Asia. So if you're a startup and you're building an amazing enterprise software company and you're working with big Fortune 500 brands, some of which might be SAP's customers, you should think about joining SAP.io. And SAP.io, it's not a regular accelerator program. It's what I like to call like a graduate school of accelerators. We're not focused on working with early stage startups. In fact, we work with seed all the way to Series D, like D for dynamic startups. And the reason we're able to work with such a broad range of companies is that it's a no equity program, which means we don't take a stake, we don't invest. What we really care about is drilling in and helping you, the startup, build a long-standing relationship with SAP. So we're really looking for amazing products that work well with SAP solutions, can integrate well with us, and add a lot of value to SAP's customers. Now, we've been around for about 6 years. So we launched in 2017. And since we launched, we've worked with over 500 startups. And 500 startups cover the entire gamut of what you think about when it comes to enterprise software. So we've done things with what you'll see today, which is around future of work. We've done things in supply chain. We've done things in customer experience, AI, machine learning, a bunch of emerging technologies. And so we're really broad in scope, and we created a program that is 5-month long where we just focus on how to help you partner with SAP. And how do we do that? We help you integrate with our technology, number 1, launch into our customer marketplace, which is our SAP store, and then number 2, look for go-to-market opportunities to get you in front of our customers and our partners. And we have a bunch of SAP colleagues here in the front that we would love for you to meet after this session, throughout the conference. We have a booth that is number 1047. It's a purple booth where we have a co-sponsor with my partner, Joe Guagliardo from Dentons. So you can stop by our booth, meet our startups, meet us, talk to us. And then also, I encourage you to watch the presentations today. We have 4 amazing startups that are presenting. They're on the Web3 Future of Work space. They're presenting today. They're giving you a quick elevator pitch. We want you to watch and engage and meet them after this session. If you're an investor, obviously they want funding. If you're a customer, obviously they want your business. If you just want to help them, share your knowledge, network, whatever it might be, we really want you to engage with them after they present today. With that being said, I also want to give a big shout out and thanks to my partner, Joe Guagliardo from Dentons, and I want to give him some time to tell you about what he does as well.
Thanks, Sallie. Good afternoon, everyone. Joe Guagliardo. I'm a partner and technology lawyer at Dentons. For those of you who don't know, Dentons is a law firm. We have offices in over 200 locations spread across 80-plus countries around the world. As part of our technology practice, we regularly represent tech companies in a wide range of legal matters, particularly in disruptive technologies as well as others. We're particularly heavily concentrated in the blockchain and Web3 space as well. We are thrilled to be co-sponsoring this session with SAP. And I want to give a warm welcome to our presenters. We have some great companies you'll be hearing from. And so let's get started with the intros. First up is Janosch Amstutz from Beem, CEO and founder.
Hi, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about Beem, AR hologram communication, or more simply put, the ability for you to live stream yourself as a hologram into someone else's physical environment. I'm Jan, the founder and CEO of Beem, and I'm excited to take you on this journey, the new paradigm for communication. Over thousands of years, we have become very, very good at communication. However, we've had a communication over distance problem as our societies have grown larger. We've always used cutting-edge technologies at the time to solve these distance challenges, from carrier pigeons to Morse code to the telephone, which gave us intimacy through voice. And now, video conferencing, which AT&T invented in 1968. What I'm proposing is Beem, hologram communication, this new paradigm to communicate with each other using spatial presence. Now, augmented reality has been viewed as a gimmicky, gamified environment with avatars, emojis, and cartoon characters. Beem is leveraging this amazing technology to completely change the way it's viewed. Beem is creating a utility in augmented reality by transferring a real human from one location physically into someone else's space digitally. Now, this is important because augmented reality software is pegged to become a $137 billion opportunity in the next 5 years. And leveraging this new ecosystem, spatial computing, is key for companies and customers to stay in front of innovation. How Beem works, simply put, using just a smartphone, you're able to record a message of yourself in your location and stream it to someone else's space in seconds. This example here is a recorded message being captured in real time and viewed in someone else's location through their smartphone, or very soon through augmented reality glasses. Many globally recognized brands are already leveraging Beem for their own internal outcomes around improving their communication, education, training, and driving specific points of ROI. Companies like T-Mobile, Qualcomm, and Lenovo are already implementing this software as a base level call feature for the augmented reality ecosystem. And other businesses like Google, EY, the military, and TEDx have leveraged this for communication internally and externally, along with a plethora of other globally recognized brands. How Beem works? You can simply scan a QR code right now. If you take out your phone's camera, you can scan this QR code and view a message I prepared exactly for this conversation. Once you've scanned the QR code, click accept to all the features and functions, look at a floor space through your phone, and place the hologram experience in this location here. It will be a bit weird when the entire crowd sees hundreds of me popping up in the space. Now, Beem is an important technology for the AR ecosystem, with many of the largest tech companies all shooting for augmented reality glasses, building these glasses for corporate use, but also for the future of computing for consumers. And alongside our existing partners, we're on track to become the call and message feature for the entire AR ecosystem. We already have a number of large-scale partnerships, including SAP, where we're deploying this technology into specific use cases surrounding education and training. We're looking for additional corporates and sales channels to bring this technology to market, as this year is the year where AR reaches its maturity point. I hope you'll join us in creating the future and deploying this exciting new paradigm for communication first, using our technology, Beem, to your customers, geographies, and for your investment portfolios. I'd love to schedule a call with you to discuss this further. Another QR code you can scan to schedule a call. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jan. Next up, we have GMetri with Utsav Mathur, the CEO and founder.
Thanks, Sallie.
Let me grab this for you. Liquor, green.
But I'll get a... So, hello, everyone. We aren't going to do a lot of slides today. I think it's sometimes good to have a conversation with only the human connection, especially in the context of how we're meeting today. As the CEO of GMetri, a no-code platform that is built to create metaverse applications, my job is, of course, to build, monetize, and grow wondrous technology, but also sometimes tell our story better. What we've achieved, how we've gone about it, and why we've spent our lives doing what we have. In our journey, we've executed several implementations for, well,
Oh, you can watch this.
yeah, for mega-scale clients like Amazon, Walmart, PayPal, Sanofi. And today, let's talk about how we got there. In the context of the internet, we're all together, and we're all tuned in like never before. If anyone has anything to say, we're listening, learning, lounging, loitering, and sometimes briefly, even drowning. As the stories get longer, deeper, heavier, they need to speak and connect better. Experience is about telling our stories better and allowing others to live our stories better. Imagine, as a newly onboarded employee, you have access to three-dimensional virtual worlds where you can come in and have a cup of coffee with the CEO and talk about what their plans are. Imagine living a day in the shoes of a future colleague and understanding what their day is like. Gamification comes very naturally to these virtual environments. Today is about forging deeper connections on the internet. And the internet is always evolving to connect people, places, and things better. I imagine the internet today as this layer that permeates through everything, this virtual layer that is trying to kind of interact with our real world in interesting ways. At GMetri, we give any individual or enterprise in this room the ability to use our AI-powered creation tools to build your metaverse experiences. Think of us as the Canva of immersive experiences. Browser-based creation tools make it simple to create stunning content in a matter of minutes. And now we're seeing the era of applied AI come alive. So that means the expectation largely is to state an intent and to get a virtual world built out. And that's what GMetri delivers for you. Not only are these stories beautifully crafted, but employees can also seamlessly integrate this with the existing enterprise tooling of today. And you can directly connect this into, for example, SAP SuccessFactors. We give you rock-solid analytics and everything that you would expect. Our platform's been deployed in use cases like vaccine manufacturing during the pandemic. and also for digital twins for some of the largest players globally. We're delivering the ability to tap into this immersive internet directly into your hands. GMetri is democratizing the metaverse. And do join us in our journey. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Great, GMetri. Thank you very much for that presentation. Next up is Jack Makhlouf, Global Head of Partnerships, Talespin.
All right, thank you. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Sallie, for having us today. So Talespin, you can think of us as a skills mobility platform using augmented reality, virtual reality, and AI to help people train their soft skills. So these are the interpersonal skills, the human power skills that people don't get a lot of practice doing. And we saw us moving into a time where we needed a major upgrade on how those systems teach people very important soft skills. And although we were right about the challenge, the timeline was certainly different. There we go. So this is the upskilling and reskilling challenge of our time, and the current models of how you teach and learn soft skills won't scale to meet the demand. That's the primary reason why we entered this space. Here's a look at what the experience is when you're in VR or an augmented reality. So you're having simulated conversations with avatars using your own voice. It's a self-paced experience. There's no judgment in the room, which is really key. That way you can really screw up with avatars and nobody cares. All on the back end, your skills are being measured and tracked. And there's also coaching the experience to help you identify where your weaknesses are or where your strengths are. Let's take a look.
It feels like things have gotten out of hand since the news came out about one roast yesterday.
You're right. The market's volatile. A major competitor just closed. Things are off track.
See, that's the kind of doom and gloom attitude that's got everyone freaking out. They're filing reports late, forgetting to CC me on emails. Just chaos.
Are you saying that the team is losing focus because the one roast news has them worried?
Right. I emailed Alan about his reports a couple hours ago, and I still haven't heard back. What is he even doing? Not working, clearly.
So it's really important that you use your voice. You can certainly click through. This is also a streaming version. Doesn't require a VR headset. But we've noticed that if people have to speak up and say these things out loud, it's definitely a higher level of engagement, and it leads to more cognitive retention. So most of us know us, most people know us for our library. We have a series of off-the-shelf courses available. They're around leadership, emotional intelligence. These are the fundamental communication skills that we're all trying to upskill on. We'll be at 100 titles by the end of the year. Again, these are viewable in VR, streaming, and soon mixed reality. Now, we know a library of content is a really great place to start, but we know organizations want to customize and tweak and create their own simulations. So we have a no-code authoring tool that lets folks create whatever simulation they want within the tool. And so now it's a blend of using off-the-shelf content, custom content that you can create in the platform, and consume it again, like I said, in multiple ways. And it doesn't really scale if you can't measure outcomes. And so there's a dashboard on the back end that lets folks look at their skill level and proficiency level over time by skill. And this can be over teams or cohorts as well as the entire company. And so we've proven over and over again that this is exponentially a more effective way to learn than any other modality. We were expecting 20 to 30% when we started the company, and we got 300 to 400%. That was quick and short. So go ahead and scan if you'd like to connect and learn more. I just want to thank again our partners, Denton and SAP.io. Thank you very much.
Finally, we have our last startup, which is Veremark. And we have Daniel Callaghan, the CEO and founder. And green is forward, red is backwards.
31% of mass shootings in America last year happened at the workplace. Forget about the fact that 1 in 4 people lie on their application. The fact that over 266 acts of severe violence happen at the workplace is reason enough for you as employers or for your companies to do background checks on their prospective employees. My name is Daniel Callaghan. It's my privilege to be the last of the cohort today to talk to you about what Veremark does. And our aim is to help the world trust faster, as well as making background checks easier anywhere in the world. We know that the world of work is changing. We know that it is becoming more global. It is becoming more universal in the fact that you are cross-border hiring, or hiring people from different cultures or different geographies, or even hiring people in completely different locations. The nature of work is equally becoming more output-based. It is becoming more project-based. So shorter tenures, more focused on actually just getting the right a person in to do a specific task, whoever they may be, and then moving them on. It is also becoming increasingly more regulated. All of these factors combine for a greater reason around why background checks will ultimately become a greater inconvenience and an increasing necessity in the world of work. What's more is today's modern worker is changing. Right? The next generation Z are changing jobs with ever greater frequency. The average tenure of employment is going down from 18 months now down to around 15 months. And in the rise of the gig economy, whether that's at Uber style or actually independent consultants doing project-to-project-based work, means that you are seeing people again move from employer to employer. It is becoming more dispersed and more independent. And actually, there is a rising set, as you can see by all of the activity going on here today, for people to have greater self-sovereignty over their own data. People want to know how their data is being used and to have control over it. Unfortunately, in the last 20 plus years, background screening as an industry hasn't changed. It's archaic, it's analog, it's very Excel, very email driven, and it's incredibly repetitive. How many times do you need to reprove that you went to that college? How many times do you need to prove that you worked at X, Y, and Z company 10 years ago? At Veremark, we believe that people should be able to own and share their own verified credentials in an instant. And that's why we're delighted here to launch the VeriPass, which is basically a career credential wallet with your proven verified data facts stored on the blockchain. As you can see, ultimately it contains all of the data points that you've had verified by this employer or your previous employers. It gives you full control and access to those verified database points with an auditable digital trail behind them, and the ability to share and turn off access to those with whomever you choose within the industry. For us, we see this as a win-win. If you're a hiring company doing background checks, it means that now you can get a much faster view of verified data around those employees. It means that you can make sure that you are at least getting some certainty around what they have done and where they have done it, and the validity of what they may have said. It means that you don't have to wait 20 days to get someone started, and rather can get access to the data in 20 seconds. It means that you don't have to pay another $100 to do the background checks, because actually it's already been pre-verified and the candidate share it with you. As an employee or as an independent, you're now able to share access with whoever you like and no longer have to prove how good you are. You have control and can share instantly, starting work today, as opposed to, again, having to wait for that time. Veremark has built an entire ecosystem that makes it possible for employee, employer, and in some countries now, government, to be able to access and validate and verify this sort of information. Once the verified data, which is entirely binary, so it's, did they work here, did they graduate from this, and such, it's not subjective facts like references and so forth. But it means that it can be stored and then gets hashed and stored on the Ethereum mainnet. The question obviously is why blockchain? Well, that's because one, we obviously wanted the immutability and portability of the data that has been verified. We truly believe also that the candidate should have the right to control, independent of Veremark, who has access and who can see that access. And thirdly, because we believe that blockchain infrastructure is ultimately the future of how governments will be able to share these interoperable assets, all of which, again, Veremark is living proof and testament to in today's market. With Veremark, you have the ability, or Veripass, you have the ability to check once and use always. Whether it's an interconnected network of issuers of credentials, being schools or past employers, other verifying agents, being other background screening companies, or other background screening companies or other employers, or also, as other third-party network providers like recruitment agencies, BPOs, or employers of record like Deal or Remote or globalization partners and such who have all been doing very well in recent times. Now, Veremark as an entity is 4 years old. We operate globally. We have offices in London, New York, Singapore, Australia. We offer checks in more than 150 countries, 40-plus checks across the globe, ranging from all the usual standard criminal and credit stuff to also more environmental things like social media checks, adverse media checks, sanction checks. So whatever your organization may be looking for, whatever type of check that you may need to be done to be ensure that your team are hiring the right people, that is a safer workplace, a more trusted workplace, then we would be delighted to hear from you, and I invite you all to come over to the Dentons stand and to come and have a chat, not only about background screening as it stands today, but what background screening and the use of digital credentials could be for tomorrow. With that, thank you all very much, and have a wonderful day.
So thank you, everyone, for joining us for the SAP, SAP.io, and Dentons session. As I mentioned, we have a booth. It's 1047. It's right by the OKX big booth. So you can come find us. We will have our founders and our teams there through the rest of the conference, and we would love to talk to all of you. If you want more information about SAP.io, simply sap.io. That's our website URL. And I also want to give a call out to a couple of colleagues I have here at that's supported the startups that we've worked with from the last half year. So I want to point out Sid Bhattacharya right there. If you're curious about SAP.io, talk to him too. Edwin Gonzalez I already mentioned. Nicole Sternberger in the orange, and Daniel Torrance. These are our amazing SAP team that are here. We're ready to chat with you, and come find us. Thank you so much.
Come see us at the booth.